We're ready to go, sir. We're ready to go.
Good evening. This is the meeting for the workshop, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023, and the time is 6:16. And we can get roll call
Commissioner Williams,
here.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Here. Commissioner Williams is going to do the invocation. We can please stand, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Lord, for today. We kindly ask that you please continue to bless us, bless the great city of Opa-locka, its employees, residents, and everyone that does work in and out of Opa-locka, those that travel in and out. Just continue to cover us as a city as we move forward to the bright opportunities that we are. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we have a discussion item.
Madam Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I could just provide a brief overview of the process, and then I'll turn it over to the city attorney. She'll make some comments as well, and
Okay.
then we'll move on after that to discussion.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Just to give a brief overview, the city commission authorized via resolutions numbers 23-150 and 23-172, a procurement process for an outside entity firm to serve as the human resources director for the city of Opa-locka. On October 20th, 2023, the city released RFQ number 23-11-07100 for outside entity human resources director with a due date of November 7th, 2023 at 1 p.m. As of 1 p.m. on November 7th, 2023, the city received a total of 5 proposals. 4 proposals were received via eBid on Demand Star, and 1 proposal was hand delivered to the city clerk's office. I have included a packet that's before you. This packet includes the legislation that I just mentioned, 23-150 and 23-172. You also have the RFQ document in here, a copy of the advertisement in which the RFQ was advertised, a list of proposals received, and the actual proposals are also attached towards the back of the packet. So the 5 proposals that we received as of 1 p.m. on November 7th, which was the due date, we received Altrain Inc. This was an eBid submitted via Demand Star. The second one is the Employee Relations Group. This was also submitted via eBid on Demand Star. Number 3, KDG Support LLC. This was an eBid submitted via Demand Star. Circle Strategies Inc. is number 4, and this was also eBid submitted via Demand Star. And the last one, number 5, Chan Bryant Abney PA. This was the proposal that was actually hand delivered to the office of the city clerk by the deadline date. At this time, I will turn it over to Ms. Cobb.
Thank you, Joanna. Just at this time, we suggest that you all take about 15 minutes to review all of the submissions. And then you all can discuss a little bit afterward.
Okay. So first off, good evening, everybody. I do apologize for my tardiness. Um, Madam Attorney or the clerk, the manager, how is this working?
So right now you are looking over all of the submissions,
Mhm.
and then we recommend that you all discuss each applicant separately, and then you guys can come to a consensus, but you'll be voting actually on a short list of 2 candidates at the commission meeting.
Okay, so so we don't make the choice now? You want us to bring that up at the commission meeting?
Correct, since this is just a workshop.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Williams?
quick question, Candace, when you say a short list, is there a particular number that needs to be shortlisted?
I said, yeah, 2.
Oh, I'm sorry,
We're doing
maybe I didn't
2.
hear you.
No, no
Okay.
worries. didn't say it
Also, real quick, Candace, are we able to, during this process, I don't know if anyone is here for that? Or are we able to,
You can ask them questions if they are here.
yes, Ms. Flores?
Mr. Mayor, through the mayor, yes, I did send a link to both meetings to all of the individuals that submitted a proposal. So I do apologize. So a link was sent to all the individuals who submitted a proposal to both meetings, the workshop and the regular commission meeting as well. So some may be on virtually, and I'm not sure if any are here present right now. So just so that you are aware that that information was sent to them.
All right, can we, Mr. Manager, verify with IT if anyone is virtual?
We have 3 online virtually.
But
I have questions
I do too.
Before we talk to anyone, if that's okay, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor to the manager. Mr. Manager, yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Manager, what is our budget for HR director?
The budget for HR director is approximately $90,000 plus benefits.
And with benefits, how much does that equal to?
About $125,000.
And that's in addition or that's total? I'm sorry.
That's total,
That's
sir.
total.
Yes, sir.
So about 120. You said 120, 125? What is it?
125, yes.
125.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have another question, Mr. Mayor, and I guess this is to my colleagues. So at this point, are we strictly going with what we have in front of us? Or should I say, where are we with our own looking for sitting a HR director? Because I remember the manager saying at a meeting that he was having conversations with someone for being an HR director.
That is a good.
Mr. Manager, I think she's asking you that question.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I can't, I don't hire the HR.
Well, right. So I didn't direct it to the
Oh.
manager because we're doing this. That's why I said to my colleagues, but if I really don't care who answers, I just want an answer. Do we, to the manager, do we have applicants that have applied when we put it out, and where are we with that?
Yes, we did go through the process and narrowed it down to 5 and then 3 candidates. And we are holding on that process at this time.
If I may, Mr. Manager, why are we holding on that process? Because of this?
That's correct.
And I'm asking because I see these numbers and they don't look good to me.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
Mhm.
The I saw the numbers too, but I was to assume because these are um companies that that number is the staff. If am I to assume that correctly, Madam the RF, Madam Attorney? Who did this? Oh no, Mr. Manager, you wrote this RFP.
That's correct, sir. So this is for, according to the RFP, this is going to be for one person that will man the HR director position for a minimum of 1 day. They're going to be required to be present 1 day and be on call for the other 4 days. For this is outsourcing the human resources director position. We will, and in fact, one of the RFQs questions that we've had to answer during this process is what additional staff is going to be available to support this person. And we responded with those queries that the rest of the HR staff will be available.
So the HR staff is being provided by the city or?
That's
the
correct.
company?
The HR staff is being provided by the city. This is an RFQ for a human resources director, not the human resources department.
When you put out the you did the RFQ or RFP?
It was an RFQ.
Well, how much was it initially bidded for? I mean, how much? Because I know you have to put an amount on it.
We don't provide an amount so that we can get the best competitive price.
Through the mayor, just really quickly, I just wanted to note that it's an individual or firm. That's what the RFQ is for.
Okay, so individual or firm.
Correct.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, we do have employees in HR, correct?
That's correct.
How many in total?
I believe, is it 2 or 3, Ms. Lawson? Okay, yes, 2.
So you said 1 full-time, 1 temp,
That's correct.
and the full-time is what position?
Her position is Human Resources Secretary, Executive Secretary. However, she's performing HR specialist responsibilities.
Or
She
was
does
hired-
has the
hired as a
experience.
secretary?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Manager, next question, I'm sorry, to jump on Vice Mayor's question, how much in total to run the HR department? You got that number
I was just looking at this number with Mr. Anderson today. It's about $364,000 for the entire department.
364. Okay, so for one director is just 120, for the entire department is 364. Got it.
That's correct.
Mr. Manager, may I ask the
Sure.
city manager? Mr. City Manager, how many people does it take to run our HR department? How many employees do we usually have in that department?
4.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You still asking?
Okay, one more question. But you said there was 3 applicants. Have we been in touch with those applicants at all?
Yes, we have been in communication with them to let them know that we were going to be temporarily putting a hold on the hiring process. And we did make them aware that this RFQ was out, but none of them decided to apply for it since they're looking for full-time work with benefits, and the RFQ requires that they cover their own benefits.
Okay, but you finish?
I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah, just what I wanted to do, because I remember before one of our meetings prior, it was stated that you were vetting someone, taking them to lunch, dinner, or something, and that fell through. I think my concern maybe, or what is kind of keeping me on the crossroads or on the sidelines also, is if we pause this, waiting on that process, and we've seen it come and go and fall through and fall. But I also know that based off of based off of what we've had before, and I mean qualifications, qualified people, even though we're looking at the amount, but if we technically look at HR in cities, it's much more than that. So that's why I'm telling you, it's much more than that, even the smaller municipalities. So if we pause for, what was the price you said we pay our HR director?
90,000.
And you're not going to get this type of qualification for $90,000. And I'm just saying, you're going to get, I worked at the county as an assistant HR director, not someone that has the experience to push this process along, or even to, or who has had experience with revamping, reshaping, reorganizing a department that needs to happen. That's not going to happen. And I know and I get it. I understand. I know we're looking at the funds, but I'm saying if at 90,000, we're always going to vet the second best and not the best. So we're going to then end up getting, if we pause what we're doing now, yes, I will say some of these prices are a little exorbitant, and maybe moving along, we can, but I think right now, in order to get our city rebooted and get what we need, right now we need quality. And I got to put it out on the table. I've been saying this from a year now. We just don't, we got to get quality into our city, quality people, quality applicants, quality people that can work. I've been ignored in the past. This time I'm not going to be ignored. When it comes to quality, people that's going to get this city running. Yeah.
Okay. I have one more question to you two. In this booklet, I didn't see a price. Did anyone see a price in this one? I looked.
Yeah, I don't see it. I was gonna say I don't see a price.
I mean, I like everything that was there. I just didn't see a price.
I know it. It's on sort of too.
It's on tab 7.
Tab 7, but
That's what it said, but it's nothing there. It said it'll work with the budget that we have
already in place.
already in place for this year.
So they're willing to come up under the budget. So whatever the city has already passed as the budget, they're willing to come up under that. Well,
Yeah, I
that's
kind of
what she
thought that
said.
too, but I just wanted to make sure that that's, yeah, at the bottom right here, the last sentence.
Yeah, I was trying to, I don't know what the name. Okay, all right, Mr. Manager, who's online? And we can start with the ones that are in the audience, and then we can go to ones online.
Mr. Walker, could you introduce those that are online?
We have someone here in the audience.
Is there anyone in the audience that placed a bid for the RFQ? Yes, we have one.
Okay. All right, and what's your, ma'am, if you don't mind. Employee Relations Group Commission.
Oh, no, I said.
Okay, would you, if you don't mind, if you come to the.
Thank you. My name is Mary Adams. I'm owner of the Employee Relations Group, and I would be fulfilling personally the RFP of my company is chosen. My understanding of the RFQ was that there was only one person on staff, and that there was usually 4 people. So my RFQ actually includes one other headcount that my firm would provide. So my apologies if that was my misunderstanding.
You say
my firm would provide a total of 2
people.
Because in 2 places that asked for a resume of that person.
Okay.
So that further gave me the understanding that they were interested in who would be touching this RFQ to provide support.
Okay,
So for me, that's 2 headcount. The third person is the CFO, which won't do any work toward the day-to-day operations, just finance.
and that's the 266. That's the 266, the bid amount that you,
Yes,
2 people.
But can it potentially be one?
my
does it-
price also is negotiable.
Okay.
I would definitely be the person drafting, doing all of the actual work, but I will need someone to like formalize the work, like put it in, make it look pretty. All day, every day, I write things. So, but I don't proof and make them look pretty and presentable. So that's what the HR person, but this person has about 9 years HR experience. She's currently a HR manager. She would be my assistant part-time,
Okay,
and her resume is included.
it's included.
Those are the comments I wanted to make, but I am open to any questions you may have of me.
So we were given about 15 minutes or less to speed read. I don't know if you want to maybe tell us a little bit about yourself or your
Sure.
background really quick.
My firm specializes in providing full cycle, rather from before a job opens to after the employee leaves. So there is nothing within the life cycle of employment that my company doesn't cover. We are a generalist. I have been a generalist for 3 Fortune 500 companies, IBM, Dell, and Google, before I went to law school. I majored in law school. My focus was contracts. And so for my businesses, I moved here from California 13 years ago, opened my firm, and immediately started providing support to small businesses with less than 200 employees. Most of my clientele is 50 employees or less. They cannot afford an HR person, neither can they afford an attorney, and I become their in-house counsel and their HR expert. We write job descriptions. We really do my firm is called the Employee Relations Group because we are really good at stuff. So employee relations is really where we shine, meaning helping employees understand changes, understanding policy and procedures, and they generally don't agree, but for some reason they walk away, happy. And we're very, very much involved in DEI training, harassment training, management training, and how managers support human resources, and also systems. Because my background is from systems, I believe in putting systems in place. Anything that is redundantly done in an organization, we want to remove hands-on and have a system in place. I'm also a big auditor. I audit all of my clients' payrolls, processing, classifications, workers' comp, anything that causes revenue. I will also negotiate contracts and establish contracts for my clients. I could go on and I do want to add that I absolutely love what I do. And I was asked to give 3 references. I could give you all of my clients' references because they don't like being left out. I did include 7 and not 3. But if you would like more client references, just let me know. And they'll be telling me nobody called. So
Do you have any questions for Ms. Adams?
I do. I just want to reiterate. I
yes,
just want to
ma'am.
reiterate that you said that your bid amount is negotiable.
Oh, yes, it is. I had no idea what your budget was. It would not be $90,000.
I got that.
Yes, ma'am.
I got that. I
Yes,
got that. I got that.
Any other questions from Ms. Adams? And then we go to the next one.
Yeah, because we're 2
Mm.
people. We already
Thank you, Ms.
have 2
Adams.
people.
Thank you. Thank
No
you very
problem.
much.
All right, Madam, sorry, not Madam Attorney, Mr. Manager, who's the next person up?
Do we have any more applicants for the RFQ that are currently in the room? Is Chant Bryant here? Okay, I believe we have Chant Bryant on virtual. All right, Mr. Walker, Chant Bryant.
Yes, I'm here, Sean Bryant, Abney.
What, hello, it's Sean.
Yes, it is Sean Bryant, Abney. Good evening.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your firm?
Yes, I'm happy to do that, and thank you for the opportunity. I am I've managed HR departments for the last 24, 25 years. My most recent position was the Gary Law Firm in Stuart, Florida. I am still working with the firm on a contractual basis, but I really just started my own business in June of this year. So I have a couple of other clients, but I am very capable of running an HR department. I have had as many as 5 employees working along with me and as few as 2. So my understanding of your current HR setup was that there would be staff available to assist, but based on the RFQ, the responsibilities that you've noted there, I'm more than capable of handling. I have managed HR from soup to nuts, everything from advertising for positions, recruiting employees, onboarding, training, as well as compensation and benefits administration, conflict resolution. I've maintained HR manuals and updated them. Keeping senior management informed on policy changes, and just recently went through, of course, the most recent COVID. I hate to call it a nightmare, but we really did have to pivot quite a bit, being a law firm, getting technology in place to allow our employees to work at home to keep them safe, and also balancing the needs of the clients with the law firm. So I have a lot of experience, not only in HR, but also in employment law, because I am a lawyer by trade. I've managed a lot of employment cases, including defending cases against the firm, working with outside counsel. But also I have an accounting background, so I always try to balance the needs of the organization, keeping in mind the budget, which is why my pricing, I am okay with the budget as approved. I did have a question about the comment that the city manager made that the salary was 90,000, but with the total package was 125, including benefits. And I didn't understand what benefits might be included in the 125. But I am very negotiable. I'm flexible. And I look forward to the opportunity to work with you.
Okay, I'll let the manager answer that question real quick, and then I'll open the floor to the commission. Mr. Manager?
Thank you. So that would be a package that is put together across by the HR department for our whole staff team. Includes a medical option for dental, option for vision, and some other items that we can provide specifically to you and all candidates through emails if selected.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any questions? Is it Miss Sean?
It is. It's pronounced Sean. It's just spelled like Chan, C-H-A-N, but it's pronounced Sean.
Okay. Any questions for Miss Sean Abney? Okay. All right. Thank you, Miss Abney.
Thank you.
Mr. Manager, who else is on?
Next, we have Katie Garcia online.
All right, Ms. Garcia.
Hello, my firm is KDG Support, so you should have the proposal for that there. And then much like Ms. Adams, I also had the understanding that this was kind of to furnish with supplemental staff as well. So mine does include myself as well as an HR generalist. So again, we can kind of relook at the at the requirements, if it's decided I can move forward. So a little bit about me. I have 15 years in human resources. I've run I've run non-government entities. So this would be kind of a little bit new to me, dealing in the city realm. But I've been in HR for 15 years. I've run a company of 185 employees, was the largest that I was at. And I did serve as the director of HR for that. It was a government contractor, so highly regulated and lots of compliance pieces. My firm really focuses a lot on the smaller business of HR. So we do kind of everything. Our largest focuses have been executive placement, doing internal investigations and the compliance piece of HR, which normally is kind of the diversity hiring initiatives and the handbook and FMLA and all of those types of things. So that's really where the strongest point of my background is.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Garcia? Okay, thank you, Ms. Garcia. Mr. Manager, who's the next?
Next, we have Harriet Strickland.
All right, Ms. Strickland, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are y'all?
No complaints.
Great. I will give you a little overview of Altria. Altria has 24 years experience in HR services and consulting. We have provided for the state of California, Department of Corrections, Broward County, Miami-Dade County. We have some smaller groups that we have provided for. We've also provided for BART, which is Bay Area Rapid Transit. We are strong in rebuilding HR departments. We, and with that saying, staffing, policy writing, sorry about this, policy writing, payroll. My experience is in, well, I have a long experience in HR and business development, as well as the law, and I'm a certified accountant. So we can provide classification studies, as well as benchmarking, placements, policies, handbooks. We are also ISO certified for our management, and that's ISO certification. If you're familiar with ISO certification, it's ISO certification 9008. We haven't recertified to the most recent platform, but we do intend to in the near future. Our pricing is by hour. So I don't know if you noticed the pricing because we had a spread, but because I will have resume.
Your microphone went out.
Would be for this type of a project. And so we put our pricing in by hour.
Which is what we see is the $48 an hour, and your alternate bid was 45, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Any questions from Ms. Strickland? Any questions from Ms. Strickland? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Strickland.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Manager,
That's all we have, sir.
all right, thank you. All right, so, Madam Attorney, at this point, you don't want us to discuss who we will choose, or you do, or you want us to give you two now, or
You
two
can
at the
have
meeting?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you can have a discussion about it now, and you can have any discussion. You just can't take a vote. So if there are candidates that you prefer over other candidates, you can put that on the record, and so that you all will have some understanding of what the consensus might be, but the vote won't be taken until the commission meeting.
Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner
so
Fields?
we can talk about the candidates basically,
Yes, ma'am.
and then just say who we prefer or stuff like that,
You can
right?
do that.
Just-
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because before you got here, I think I misunderstood with Candace when
Yeah, because y'all
you
said.
said, yes,
things.
two different things. You said that we needed to select 3 candidates.
No, there are two candidates you're going to
Two candidates.
shortlist, and you
Okay.
don't actually do the shortlisting until the meeting, and then the manager is going to make the final selection from the two shortlisted candidates. So if there are two candidates that you are wanting to discuss tonight that you all come to some consensus on, you will already have that discussion out of the way. And then when the 7 o'clock meeting opens and the item is on the agenda, you can then vote on that item. There's a resolution.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Commissioner Williams, you still have the floor. So you want to?
Okay, yeah, I will start. Okay, so going through the resumes, I will say, I'll say my grows and glows, I'll do that. The resume for Circle Strategies, I'm not going to shortlist them only because they're out of Boston, Massachusetts. And I definitely think we need someone local to provide this work, and or someone that have experience in the local area. So that was that one. The other, wait a minute. Missing. So, okay. So, oh, here it is, flipped over. So I did, I'm actually on the fence with 3, but I'm gonna go down to 2. And then I'll say my grows for KDG support, only because I'm not seeing much evidence of this type of work in the actual project approach. I see a lot of like government contracts and different things like that, but and then she herself stated that this would be new to her, this type of work. So but does have an extensive resume, so I'm gonna put that one to the side. I will say that, oh, and then, sorry, Miss Strickland, I don't know the type of service. I know it's not as extensive as the others. And then I don't know what type of work we would get for $45 an hour. So I'm gonna kind of put that one to the side too. Because I do know that that work is extremely heavy, especially when you're rebuilding and rebooting. So my 2 that I do, my 2 and a possible, those of you play spades. My 2 and a possible, definitely, I definitely like the employee relations group. I did highlight something in the packet that was written. I can hurry up and find it. I'm sorry, I'm not. And it was the outline of, can't find it. It was the outline of how, and you all always know, I'm always talking about backwards planning. So she had a outline of timetable schedule of I'll start with this, I'll start with that, we'll work through this, we'll work through that. And then that lets me know that Miss Mary Adams, I believe did I say your name right? Mary Adams is being very methodical about that work and then what it takes to get to a goal and how you build up to that goal. So I did see that in that one, in the employee relations group. And I also will say that I saw the same process being written, and I did not, unfortunately, see them as detailed and outlined in the others. But I will say that I saw the same extensive outlined in the wait, did I say? Sean Abney. In the Sean Abney. I don't know if there's a name to it, or is it just Sean Abney? So same thing, same process, very extensive, with the knowledge, this work. And like I said, it will be work. I did want to say, I liked on tab 6 schedule, again, same time frame. I will utilize the first month to evaluate and analyze. There's those two words that I wanted to see, and I also saw an employee relations group evaluate and analyze the needs of the city and provide a report detailing facts. And that's sometimes we miss that. We miss not having someone come in with a laser like lens and then giving us those systems and routines and structures that we need. And then again, there's a time frame to fully produce results, and then to let us as a commission know how to keep them focused and how to keep them with what they said they will provide, because it's already detailed and outlined. So my 2 would be the employee relations group and Chan Abney PA. Thank you.
If I may, Mr. Manager.
Vice Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yes. I had to laugh because these are the same 2 that I set aside over here to my left-hand side. After Mary Adams, let me know it won't be $90,000. You know, she I like the upfrontness, but she's willing to negotiate her price, and it's more than one person, it's 2 people. And yeah, I have those same 2 set aside. Thank you.
All right, and I'm not gonna belabor the time, but I had, well, those 2, but I also pulled the Altrian firm. I know I was torn, but I guess I'll make my decision by the time we get to the vote. But those are the 3 that I had pulled to the side for the same reasons. Well, Ms. Adams, the same reason that you did, Commissioner Williams, because I love the timeline. And as she said, she's coming in to do this. I'm gonna do this first month, this the second month. So I kind of like, I love that. But okay. All right. So yeah, we have somewhat of a consensus, but I think by the time we get to the vote, we'll be ready to shortlist it to the 2. Madam Attorney, is anything else that you need us to do?
No, sir.
All right, so can I get a motion for adjournment? Moved by
Move it.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. This meeting is adjourned.